At first glance, one would not believe the man behind the counter at this small snacket represents a story of resilience, determination, and the will to adapt. Once fully sighted, Dean Browne is now visually impaired, but that has not stopped him from operating a small business while navigating his way through life.
No, I wasn't born blind, but for Ivan, I was doing a little walk by my aunt's house, and I get a lash in my eye with a wall nail head. The head broke and hit the wall and come back in the left eye. So what happened is, due to time passes, I went to the hospital and I went to see the eye specialist. But then they was trying to get rid of the problem, they were treating it. So as time progresses, the left eye get blind, and then the pressure from the left went to the right. So I ended up being impaired.
Browne shared with GBN how he keeps occupied during the day and what inspired him to keep doing what he does.
You see, it's not really my personal business, but I just be here with a lady. So normally what has happened is she sells food while I'm here. She goes sell food, and when she done, she come back. But what inspired me to be doing this is I used to live down the road, a lower down the road there, and I used to come up, and she used to be here, but you didn't have this. So she used to be on some tables doing liquor stuff, and I used to be around. So then I started helping her and stuff. I started to get to know what is a Guinness. I might tell you what's a Stag or a Car bottle. I could tell you what's a Coca-Cola bottle. I might tell you what's a ginger ale or red or grape Fanta. So, I could tell you what's a Heineken. I could tell you what's a bottle of water. I could tell you what's a $5, $10, $20, $50, and $100. Because I bring on the money, and she had inspired me, and as time progresses, I get to know the price of goods and stuff. I know some of the canned stuff, I know some of the biscuits, because some of them is different size and shape, and yeah.
Instead of retreating from the life he loved, he found new ways to engage with it. Browne said his situation has taught him a lot about himself and his other senses.
So being visually impaired, that taught me a lot, sit down and do like a self-searching and thing and try to use my rest of senses to the best of my ability. Like I have other senses that are increased and it can be used. Because I do a lot of stuff. Sometimes if my step is a little bushy, I will take a cutlass and sharpen it and clean down my step. If I need to pong a nail, I could do that. I wash for myself, I just wash clothes and stuff, I could wash. I could cook. That just using the rest of senses to the best of my ability. That's to tell you how unique God make us. See, that's a good question too, because while the sight went gradually, I started adopting or training myself to use a cane, to light the stove, to measure water in a pot, to measure the rice, the salt, And as time progresses, I learned to do a lot of stuff.
From sight to insight, Dean's story reminds us all that losing one sense doesn't mean losing your sense of purpose.
How about challenge, a physical challenge? Being impaired, being amputated, being you have one hand. Now you have to look within yourself and try to know your strength, where you're weak, where you're strong, and where you could use yourself wisely. Because sometimes it gets bored here for me, but I just sit down and I say, well, God is good. I have life. I can't see, but I'm trying my best to do something here. And so that helps us during the day sometimes, make me feel strong. And not only that, you have people that come from all over, St. Patrick's, and when they come and they realize they're blind, they say, what? They just ball. You had a guy from Jamaica, YouTuber, come and put on YouTube and all kind of thing, So sometimes that has encouraged me more because I'm looking for people to come and say hello or hi or whatever. Oh, that's Dean, yeah, that does make me feel good. I want to encourage people living like me. Is I tell you, just be smart. Use your head, but you must pray and ask God for strength because during the day, without God, you won't know how to use the rest of your ability.
Christina John, GBN News.